In this video, I intend to make sort of a continuation from the last video where I talked about advanced trading ideas. In the last video, I showed some advanced trading patterns in the 4-hour chart of the British pound versus the US dollar. A lot of people ask me if these techniques are applicable in different time frames. So to prove how that's possible, I will show a situation in the 15-minute time frame in this video. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, share, and leave your comment below because that helps YouTube promote this video to the correct people. I have a mission of showing the true side of trading that many trading educators out there simply fail to show. Similarly to what we saw in the last video, in this chart we have the major flow of the market creating a lower low, therefore rendering the previous major high as a solid structure. We can immediately see that there is an unusual situation here because solid structures are not meant to be broken, but this one clearly got broken by the major buyers of this market. Even though the breakout of the major high confirmed by the sellers is a confusing signal at first, it's nothing more than newer information. The very fact that buyers broke the solid structure provided by sellers says a lot about this market. What I mean by that is that when there is an abrupt breakout in the motion of a major market player like we can see here, it's a clear signal that we should at least pay attention to both sides of the market. Now beyond the broken major high, we have a solid major low because the last high produced by buyers surpassed the second to last major high produced by buyers. If you're used to the price action reading, you should be seeing this major bullish factor as a movement that resets everything in favor of buyers. We can already find evidence that this major bullish factor makes sense in terms of the physics of price. If we place a standard Andrews pitchfork in the major alternating highs and lows that precede the major bullish factor, we'll see how the pitchfork is able to capture the boundaries of that movement. One detail to pay attention to is the way that the lower wicks of those candlesticks touch the center line of the pitchfork near the A-axis as if it was a support line. Another interesting detail is to observe how the upper line of the pitchfork hugs the upper wicks at the top of the major bullish factor, as if it was preventing price to close above the upper line of the pitchfork. Notice also that there is a fractal bar in there, as you often find near or at major reversal points in the market. All of that suggests that major buyers have made their point, and they are now out of energy to the upside, and sellers will start their portion of the movement. Notice that buyers and sellers alternate movements regardless of what the trend is. What happens is that in uptrends, the buyers have a slight advantage in relation to sellers, so the market tends to the upside even though sellers can create downward vectors as well. The opposite is also true, of course, in a downtrend for sellers. Since we have a major confirmed low, we can draw the supply and demand zone based on the inward and outward frequency lines around the major low. Trading with supply and demand zones is especially interesting because they will always appear in places where there is a logical stop-loss order, which in this case would be below the major low. If you are going to use stop losses, which you definitely should, you must be able to come up with a valid logical reason for them. You cannot place arbitrary stop-loss orders and expect them to work well in the long term. Looking for a long trade where the lower line of the pitchfork intersects with the demand zone in this case wouldn't be a bad idea, since that would provide an interesting and logical stop-loss, and a lot of headroom for price to travel in order to generate at least a 1-to-3 risk-reward ratio. So let's observe what the market does next. Here we have information that makes the situation very interesting. First of all, it's clear that buyers hold their ground in the demand zone. The lower line of the previously drawn pitchfork was able to catch the absolute low of the major bearish vector, which ends with a fractal candle. This is just textbook fractal flow method all over the place. Notice also that price fluctuated all the way to the center line of the pitchfork, and that will render the long trade idea successful. Another interesting detail here is that buyers started to form a minor flow after they hit the major demand zone. That is something that can open the possibility for a secondary entries in a bullish market. We even have a confirmed minor low created by buyers. The amazing detail about this is that the outward frequency line of this new minor confirmed low is correlating exactly with the inward frequency line from the major low, and projecting this forward in time, there is a point where such line intersects the already existing pitchfork. Price reaching the center line of the pitchfork in a scenario like this can mean the exhaustion of buyer's energy, but not always, of course. So let's see what price does next. Here we have one of those situations where everything comes together in the same place, and a metaphorical green light appears in the mind of traders who understand this methodology. We find ourselves once again at the lower line of a pitchfork that has been working pretty well. We are at the line that is the inward frequency of a major low and the outward frequency of a minor low simultaneously. We can see a fractal bar hugging the lower line of the pitchfork to signal a reversal, and we have a pretty good place to put a stop loss order. I don't think it can get much better than this in terms of contextual trading aligned with complex line work. However, I do see an extra confirmation here based on another pitchfork. If we place a modified shift pitchfork on the last alternating significant major highs and lows, we see that the center line of this pitchfork will directly point to the lower tail of our fractal bar. If you're asking yourself, how do I know where to draw the pitchforks? You have to understand something called the reverse engineering principle that is taught in the Price Action Trading Volume 1. I can guarantee you that there is nothing random about all of this. So let's observe what price does next. Here we can see once again the power of the first pitchfork that has been working reliably since the beginning. Price goes directly from the fractal bar at the lower line of the pitchfork to the upper line of the pitchfork in what can be considered to be a professional price action trade. It's not difficult to see that it cannot get much better than this in terms of accuracy, and accuracy is a crucial element for long-term sustainability in trading. I hope you learned something new and useful with this video. If you want to learn how to trade with professional techniques, please check out the video courses that I provide. For beginner to intermediate traders, I offer the Fractal Flow series, which is composed by the Fractal Flow strategy, the Market Maker strategy, and the Newtonian trading strategy. Each one of these will teach you a different approach to trading. Each of these strategies work on their own, but they can be combined together also. They work on any market and in any time frame that you wish to trade. For intermediate to advanced traders, I offer the Price Action series, which is composed by the heavyweight techniques involving fractal geometry, linear algebra, and very refined contextual market reading to find the most accurate traded entries and exits that are possible to find on a price chart. You can visit my website fractalflowpro.com to see more details about the table of contents of each course and the testimonials from students. If you wish to support the channel, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, activate the notifications button, share the video, and leave your feedback below in the comment section. Don't forget also to check the other videos in the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next videos. Take care.